I will never go back to teaching in the UK, and I want to tell you why.
Blood. No, I don't think I could do it. I honestly don't think I could do it. What people, welcome back to Let's Talk About It with Mouse. So today we're going to be diving into teachers. Apparently they're leaving the profession and I don't know why. Is it the kids or is it the workload? Who knows? We're going to find that out today. Okay, you know the memo. Let's just get straight into it.
You want to know why teaching is so toxic? Here's why. Last week, I was so ready to just be done with teaching. It was a crazy week of behaviors, and everything just seemed to pile on me to where it became too much, and I couldn't even, get my head above water. I started looking at other jobs that teachers can do, and it was bad. I was so ready to be done. And this week has been perfect. My kids have behaved the best they have all year this week. I've had nothing extra added on to me, and I am loving teaching this week. I'm excited to come to work. I'm excited to see my students. I'm excited to see my coworkers. Work is really showing up for me this week. But it's just so crazy for me to think about where I was last week and the state of my mind last week versus this week. Every week is different. Every day is different. You could literally have your worst day in your teaching career, and then the next day could be the best day. It's just so day to day, week to week, year to year even. It's just so different.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The kids of today are crazy. The kids of today are ruthless. To be a teacher, you gotta be thick-skinned. Me, I don't think I could be ever I don't think I could ever be a teacher. That's just my personal opinion. I just think it's not for me anyway, to be honest. I just think it's not me. I just wouldn't be a teacher. But seeing what people have been saying as well, it's just it seems a lot. Someone says in this one, there needs to be more responsibility placed on parents regarding behaviours. Bad behaviour should require parents picking up their child. Only then it will improve. I don't know, man. Because you know it is, when I was at school, yeah, obviously you get people, kids were kids in it, do you know what I mean? People are gonna be ruthless, not even ruthless, but rude, give attitude, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's just kids. That's how you're gonna backchat the teachers. It's just how it is. But it's today, yeah, I just feel the kids of today, they have no respect for nobody. They have no respect for the teachers. They have no respect for adults in general on the street. They don't have respect for sometimes they don't even have respect for their parents. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy out here. It's actually crazy.
I'm putting this on friends only, but I have a lot of teachers on my friends only. When is it enough? When do I decide to throw in the towel and leave my kids and my team? Because I had a legitimate panic attack last night for the first time in years, and I just feel I'm being completely picked apart. And I'm trying really hard to keep a positive attitude about it, but I just woke up so anxious this morning. And then I had 7 people from the district in my room observing me today, and I thought it went really well. My kids were engaged, they were doing what they were supposed to be doing. And I had planning with my coach after, and she just told me about all of the things that I did wrong. And I don't know how much more I can do. But my kids come in for indoor recess in 3 minutes, so I gotta get it together before then.
It's actually sad that certain jobs actually make you cry. It makes you cry, and it's you genuinely loved teaching. But sometimes in life you gotta put yourself first, man. You might love having an impact on the kids and stuff like that, and feeling it's a purpose. Do you know what I mean? But in life, sometimes you gotta put yourself first, man, and put your mental first, because you're only just gonna go in a downward spiral. You're literally just gonna go in a downward spiral, and you just don't want that for yourself. You actually don't, especially if you've got your own kids at home, if you've got your family at home. If you're not good, your family ain't good. Do you know what I'm saying? So you need to put yourself first at the end of the day.
I quit teaching after only 2 years in the profession, and here is why. Became a teacher, was there 2 years, realised enough was enough. Constant feelings of inadequacy, a broken system, being anxious all of the time. The fact it is normalised to work 24/7. Some people may say you need strong boundaries, but when you are asked to do tasks all of the time and expected to do them outside of hours, first thing in the morning, when you get home at night. I was working effectively from about 7 a.m, sometimes till 10 p.m. at night, and that was a very, very normal day for me. SLT support with behaviour was just not there in a lot of cases. The fact the system is so broken that there's not support for children with SEN to get what they need in the classroom, and the fact that you're expected to be thankful that you're a teacher. There seems to be this thing in teaching where there's, I don't know, it's like a badge of honour, like you're so lucky to be a teacher, you make such a difference. I found that the harder you work, the more work was expected of you, and then anybody who said no to things, even if it was something like saying no to an after school club, you would be then kind of vilinised for doing that. I had this constant guilt that I'd done something wrong, and I know that I was a good teacher, like I did the best for the children at all times, but it never ever felt like enough, and I just want to normalise the fact that that is not normal. And I think so many teachers are stuck in that position now, and they think that when they leave teaching it will be like that too in other jobs. It is not. I just want to kind of spread the awareness of that, because so many people are scared to leave, but actually for me that was the best thing I could have ever done. And I've got friends and I've got previous colleagues who've left, and they're in a very similar position. So yeah, if anyone's got any questions kind of about leaving teaching, me going into a bit more about why I left, how I left, what I do now, please leave a comment and I'll try and do a follow-up video.
I will never go back to teaching in the UK, and I want to tell you why. So hi, I'm Katie. I lasted a grand total of 1 year as an NQT, a newly qualified teacher in the UK, before I quit. And since then I've taught online, I've taught abroad in Japan, and it's been incredible. But I want to tell you today about the problems in the UK education system that caused me to leave, and why I think the government needs to be tackling these in order to solve the problems with teacher recruitment and retention crisis. So you might have seen in the news that in the last year, 9% of teachers left the profession, and the government missed their recruitment targets for the uncountable number of years in a row. In fact, less than 50% of the required number of teachers were recruited for key subjects. Okay, number one issue that caused me personally to leave teaching was student behaviour. I was physically attacked multiple times a week. I had students throw things across the classroom so hard it put cracks in the whiteboard. I was harassed just wandering around doing my everyday business, shopping in the supermarket. That's not to mention the constant low-level disruption in class, students talking over the teacher, refusing to follow instructions, just simply being rude. And I'm not saying that students should be worshipping the ground that teachers walk on or anything like that, but you know, this is just basic politeness, basic human respect. Okay, issue number two, this has been talked about a lot, is teacher workloads. As a newly qualified teacher, I was working between 60 to 80 hours every week just to do the bare minimum for my job. We're not just talking about the teaching of 20 hours a week of actual classes I had, but also planning, preparing for those lessons, marking and doing assessments, all of the admin that teachers have to do. There's a ridiculous amount of data tracking, extra meetings. So much work goes into being a teacher that people don't see, and that workload was just completely ridiculous to me. It was affecting my mental health, it was affecting my ability to do my job properly, and it needs to be solved. Thing is, since moving to Japan, here I work 32 hours a week, my contracted hours. I have never taken work home. I have never stayed late and worked overtime. It's been fantastic. So other countries are doing this workload thing right, and there are some simple solutions. If you're interested in hearing those, please comment below and I'll follow up in a later video. And the third issue for me is student support, or complete lack thereof. I would estimate probably 3 to 5 kids in every class had some kind of special educational need. That's dyslexia, dyspraxia, ADHD, on the autistic spectrum, whatever. And as teachers, we do our best to help them, but there's only so much you can do when you are one teacher trying to teach a class of 30 kids, all of whom have different learning needs. These kids really need that one-on-one support as a learning support assistant to help them in class and outside of class in order to have the same learning opportunities as other kids. For me as a teacher, it was very upsetting to have these kids missing out. So yeah, that's 3 key reasons why I have chosen to leave teaching in the UK. You'll notice that pay is not one of these issues. Teachers deserve a rise, definitely, particularly more experienced teachers. That experience needs to be rewarded. But I think more needs to be done to tackle these other issues because they are also causing a lot of teachers to leave and it's just not being talked about enough. If you want me to do a follow-up video on any of these points, by the way, please let me know in the comments, and I hope it gave you a little bit of insight into why.
Bloody hell, mate. Core blimey. Core blimey. That's crazy, man. But yeah, let's see what people have been saying in the comments of this one, because yeah, the workload seems a lot from what she says. It seems quite a lot. So someone says the workload is just ridiculous. If I would spend all those hours for any business, I would earn 10 times more. Back to the workload thing, it seems a lot to be a teacher. It seems a lot. Like, the workload does seem crazy, especially for the pay that they get in. I don't know how much they get entirely, but I know it's not that high. It's not on the high spectrum of the salary. But it's just a thing where the fact that they have to plan a lesson, deliver the lesson, go home, mark the work, do assessments, do all of that. As she said, what is it, like 60 hours a week? That's crazy to me. Like, you're actually bringing work home. And this is why I know a lot of teachers end up leaving and they move to another country. As she said in the video, she moved to Japan. Some people move to Dubai. Some people move to like African countries. Do you know what I'm saying? And then it's the thing as well, it's like, as she said, she feels like there's not much support with the schooling system or the educational system in the UK. I don't know, man. It's just, as I said, me, I could never be a teacher. It seems a lot. It seems too much. Because one thing with me, I don't want to bring work home. I don't want to bring work home because, as I said previously, it's going to have an impact on your relationships at home. It will. Someone says, I lasted 3 years, left, kids are the worst. This was more than 10 years ago. Best decision I made. Yeah, man. These teachers, man. I big up all of you. I big up all you teachers out there. Stay strong. You got this. You actually got it. I'm telling you. Well, I gotta give you a round of applause. I gotta give you a round of applause for that one, because it's a lot. It seems like a lot. It honestly seems like a lot. And like, they literally hold no adult at any high value. Like, they honestly don't. They don't respect their elders. When I was younger, I was told to respect my elders. They don't respect it. Like, they'll come and tell you about yourself. Like, what the hell? They'll actually come and tell you about yourself. It's mad. It's actually madness out here.
I quit teaching. This has been my 5th and final year of being a teacher. If you follow me on TikTok, you probably noticed that I have not posted in a couple months. I haven't posted since February. I have been kind of checked out and mentally and emotionally done with this job. I'm leaving, and it wasn't a decision that I have taken lightly. This is a decision that I have been thinking about all year. This year has been extremely challenging for me. I'm not sure if, for those of you who are not in education, are aware of what's happening in schools, but it's not easy. I don't think people truly understand what teachers are going through. Lots of children are not told no at home, which makes my job extremely difficult when it comes to having them hold accountability for their actions and their mistakes and following directions and keeping their hands to themselves. This year, I have been cursed at by both students and parents. I have been hit, punched repeatedly. And what hurts the most is the lack of support from the families when you are telling them and explaining what their child did. Instead of asking you, are you okay? or my child did what, they ask you, well, what did you do to make them upset? Or are there cameras in the room? The behaviors that I have had to put up with this year are behaviors that I have never experienced as a teacher so far. I have cried so much, more than I have, like with all my teaching of years combined. I feel like I have taken off so many days from my mental health because I have not been able to mentally or physically bring myself to school. Education is not in a good place right now. It's really bad. I have so many stories that I could talk about that I will be posting later, but it's time to go. It's time to go. Again, this was not an easy decision, but I do feel that it is necessary for myself and my own mental health. And it does break my heart that I am walking away for something that I went to school with and had so much passion for, but that passion is gone. I parent more than I do teach. I'm gonna leave that at that. But I am excited to announce that I will be starting a new job at Heartland Church this July. I will be working as their digital communications coordinator, and I'm very excited for this opportunity. I'm excited to try something different and to start a new passion. So, thank you.
It seems like it's a common theme, like whether it's in the States or it's in the UK. Like, I don't know what has caused the kids to go off the rails. I swear that I don't know what's caused these kids to go off the rails, but something needs to be done. Something actually needs to be done, because then if you have no teachers for the students, then what's gonna happen? Like, what is honestly gonna happen? Because if no one wants to teach, or people are just moving abroad from the UK to another country, what are we gonna do? Like, what are we actually gonna do?
After 24 years of being a teacher, today I officially resigned. I have been doing this, like I said, for a very long time. My goal was to make it to the end of the year before I, quote unquote, retired. But I can't. I am here making this video, and I'm speaking to you, the parents. Parents, you need to get off the backs of your teachers. I am leaving this profession because the societal expectations of teachers are out of control. Parents, you are part of that society. We cannot meet the needs of all of the children. I know in a very altruistic way you would like us and you think that we can, but that is not the reality. The system is not set up for us to be able to do that. I am now going to be speaking out about the truth of teaching and what teachers go through on a daily basis, and all of the extraneous incidences, I suppose, that we have to deal with. It's out of control. Parents, your child is not the only one in this room. Parents, we are doing the best that we can given the situation that we're in. Parents, your child is in a classroom with 33 other kids who have 33 special needs. And I'm not talking IEP special needs, I'm just talking needs. There are some parents who struggle meeting the needs of one child, 2 children, 3 children. Well, imagine trying to meet the needs of 34 all at the same time. And then, forget about 34, how about 130 plus that we see throughout the day? Your expectations are unrealistic. They are altruistic. And you're wearing rose-colored glasses. It is not going to happen. So don't come in here and tell me, oh, I don't want to hear you tell me what you can't do. I want you to problem solve. Lady, I problem solve all damn day. I problem solve every second of the day. I know what problem solving is like. You are not here. You are not in this room with your children. You are not the ones putting out fires every minute of every single day. And then you are not the one who is parents coming to you and saying, you need to meet my child's expectations. No, it's not real. It doesn't exist. If you want that, then I suggest you homeschool or maybe send them to a private school. In a public school education, it isn't going to happen. And if you think it's going to happen, you're fooling yourself. Get off the backs of your teachers.
Someone says, I'm a young math teacher and I have 50 to 60 kids per class and 5 classes, 6 periods a day for 1 hour. It's killing me for real. 50 to 60 kids and it's just you one in the classroom. Ooh. It's you one in the classroom. How do they expect you to deal with that? And then what, you got to mark their work as well on top of it. If they need one-to-one support every minute, miss, blood. No, I don't think I could do it. I honestly don't think I could do it. I swear down. I gotta give you a round of applause. I actually gotta give you a round of applause because you know what? I don't know, man. I just don't. Yeah, man. Nah, I got 50 to 60 kids in one class. I gotta read this again. 50 to 60 kids per class. What? No, that's insane to me. That is insane to me. I'm so sorry. Nah. Chile. That's what I'm gonna say. It's Chile. Oh gosh.
Yo, I never knew that I would be the one to say this, but I hate being a teacher. I hate it so much. I hate everything that comes with it, from the paperwork to the politics to the damage that I'm doing to our kids. And it's getting to the point where I just can't do it anymore. I cannot continue to work for a system. Now, I don't have anything against the people who do good inside of education, public education, private education, no matter what. But when it comes to this actual system of schooling, I can't do it. Now, that's not to say that I do not love the art of teaching, but I just hate being a teacher. And I don't know when this came up. I don't know when this like popped into my head, but ever since it came into my mind, it's been very, very heavy. Like, I've been honestly thinking about all the things that education is, or schooling is today. And for example, we have so many arbitrary rules that students are expected to conform to. I feel like this schooling that we have right now is nothing but who can create the biggest dog and pony show, horse and pony, however you say it, who can create the biggest show and It's all about money. It's all about data. It's not really for the kids anymore. And well, I don't know. It never was for the kids. And I think that's one of the reasons why it has driven me to this mindset, to this point. I'm more of a person who wants to see the kids develop and wants to see them grow and genuinely cares about their learning process. But schooling nowadays, teaching nowadays is not it. I just can't do it.
Do you know what is truly heartbreaking? The amount of teachers that I'm seeing that are either going back to work tomorrow after half term and absolutely dreading it, or have done their first week after half term and already feel like it should be the next half term, because it is just so crazy and insane. And you feel like you're burnt out. It's not burnout. It is a broken system expecting more than possible from all of the individuals in it, teachers, support staff, everybody. The system is so fundamentally broken that it leads us all to believe that we're experiencing burnout. And we're not. We are breaking under pressure that is not sustainable or realistic. And it really makes me cross that it's labelled as burnout when it's not. And I know it's not just the education system. I know there's lots of other sectors out there that are in the same boat, but this is my experience because this is what I work in, so this is what I talk about. So yeah, I think be a little bit kinder to yourselves today and every other day. It's not burnout. It's just trying to keep up with a system that's impossible to keep up with.
Nearly a third of teachers qualified in the last decade have since left the profession. Shock, horror. I'm actually surprised it's not more. According to the labour analysis from the DFE statistics, just under 270,000 teachers who qualified in England between 2011 and 2020, more than 81,000 have since left the profession. That's 3 in 10. More recently, 13% of teachers in England who have qualified since the last general election, December 2019, have quit in the subsequent 2 years, around 3,000 in total. Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to think of the reasons for this, which are the same reasons we're all being balloted to take strike action at the minute. But I'm interested to know what you think is the main reason. I honestly feel that unless you're actually in the profession, you have no idea what it truly entails, especially when so much of what's expected from you as a teacher is a waste of time.
He's right. He is right. If you are not a teacher or you've never worked in that profession, you fully won't know what it entails. And this is what I'm saying about myself. I've never ever worked in teaching, so it's actually great hearing an insight from teachers, former teachers, about what's going on in the educational system. Someone says the blame culture is insane. Not only is the workload crazy, the way parents interact with us now is borderline abusive. Can't deal anymore. Someone says behaviour is shocking, worse than I've ever known it, and no time to mark the amount of work they expect. Someone says qualified in July, could have never anticipated the workload and the pressure. Someone says problems are global. Around 50% of teachers in Australia leave the profession in the first 5 years of teaching after finishing your degree. Well, it definitely seems as though a lot of these teachers are experiencing the same thing, whether it's in the States or whether it's in the UK, whether it's in Australia, Canada, whatever. But it's just like, damn, I didn't realise how poor it is. Do you get what I mean? Like, obviously, when you think of teachers, you just think of, okay, cool. You're delivering a class, cool. And then, obviously, maybe marking some papers and stuff like that. But from what it sounds like a lot more goes on than that. As I said, if you guys, I'm telling you, if any of you are teachers or former teachers, let me know in the comments and tell me your experience, because I would really like to know like what your experience was as a teacher or is as a teacher. Please, I would really love to know. So cool. But yeah, no, it just I definitely feel as though the contributing factors to a lot of teachers leaving the profession are the kids, to be honest. The lack of respect, or like maybe is it like authority? I don't know. From the videos we've watched, right? From the videos we've watched, because this is all I can base it off, right? The videos we've watched. The workload, it seems like a lot, because it's hearing that these lot are having to go to sleep like late in the evening because they're having to mark work, and plan lessons and classes and stuff like that. That's definitely another factor, as well as having so many students in one class with only like one person in the class like teaching. That's, I feel like, is definitely another contributing factor. And especially as well, I think I remember someone in the comments of one of the videos we watched is that they had a class of like 30 to 40 students, and a lot of them had like SEND, so it's hard to basically distribute herself to all these kids that need support, like one-to-one support. So I can imagine how that must have been making her feel. Like that must have been literally making her feel like, damn, like burnt out. And I feel like another reason as well, a lot of them are burnt out from all like the workload and stuff like that. And it seems like teachers are definitely underappreciated because apparently the pay is not that great. I don't know entirely what the pay is for teachers, but I heard it's not on the great side, as I said. Another contributing factor is the parents. Like a lot of people have been saying in the comments that parents have a huge part to play, because it's a thing where usually like the parents are supposed to be working with the teachers to help the kids succeed and stuff like that, but it seems like it's teachers versus parents now, whereas the parent and the teachers working together. As I said, I don't know why. I don't know where everything went wrong. I honestly don't know. I don't get it. I honestly don't. I don't. If you guys know, let me know. Give me a little, you know. But yeah, no. It's sad. It's definitely sad. And boy, a lot of these teachers are moving countries, boy, or they're moving to a different field. But it's sad though, because even as well, I think another reasoning why I feel they're leaving is because of the funding, public funding, or the funding for the schools and stuff like that. There's not enough funding, and it's just crazy. Like so many stuff. That's what I'm saying. So many stuff, yeah, have an impact on schools that we, us non-teachers, or us just looking from the outside, wouldn't even realize. We wouldn't realize, because me, as I said, I didn't realize all of this goes on in schools, like especially as well with this current generation of kids. Like the kids are just moving crazy, mate. The kids are just moving crazy, man. I'm in a know, dog. I'm in a know. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments on this topic. I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a big thumbs up. If you enjoyed it, please feel free to leave yourself a comment in the comment section of your thoughts and your feelings in this topic. So I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button, as it helps to push out my videos to other viewers so we can discuss these topics together. Okay, I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Bye.